Hello, everyone. Welcome to a quick emergency breakdown as we all just witnessed the New York Rangers win the first overall pick in the NHL draft lottery. One of 8 teams who had a chance at a 12.5% chance. There was a 37.5% chance that this kid was going to the Central. I guess there's still a chance that Lafreniere could go to the Central. We'll get into that a little bit, but the first overall pick goes to the East and the New York Rangers. If you're an Avs fan, you got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, I mean, even Rex in the background is very pleased. He's puffing out his chest.
Yep,
he's smelling the winds of change as they blow once again to the East Coast because, you know, the Rangers just have to be gifted a fast rebuild. They New Jersey gets the 2 number ones, and the Rangers get a number 1 and a number 2 in back-to-back years, despite never really bottoming out. And I guess we're all just cool with this. It's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, we wanted him out east. He's out east. My Islanders fandom is annoyed by this, so I'm not like, woo, this is great, but it's fine.
I'm much more happy with it, not being a fan of the Islanders.
I was dreading him going to Minnesota.
Right.
Dreading it.
That in Nashville, I was like, please don't. Please don't.
Like, don't unlock the monster just hiding inside of Nashville.
The only team to get swept in the play-in round. Tanking works confirmed.
Yeah, there you go. Also, having the commissioner spike the ball, have to pick that thing back up.
Put a little dent in it or something. Yeah.
That's right. This can go down. This can go down next to the Patrick Ewing frozen envelope. Yeah,
the spiked ping pong ball.
That's right.
You love to see it. Look, Rangers getting, presumably they take Lafreniere with the first overall pick. That gives them Kakko on one wing, Lafreniere on the other, or however they want to do it. With Panarin and Zibanejad up front. I don't believe that they're a contender next year because of this, but they're certainly a lot closer.
Yeah. It's like this puts them, not only are they going to be getting a great player in Lafreniere, but he's on an ELC.
Yep.
And so they were just gifted a 3-year window where they are now able to do anything they want.
They weren't particularly cap strapped before, and now they're going to have some extra room to work with. It gives them another wing player, so they might not have to play forwards like Brendan Lemieux in the actual lineup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they want to do because they've got, they did re-sign Kreider to that long extension, and now they have another wing. You look at some of their top draftees over the last couple of years. A guy like Kravtsov, he's a wing. Elias Anderson was a center, but that bridge is kind of burned.
Both does not want to play for that team, and even when he did play, was not exactly stellar.
Yeah, Filipino's been a center too, but the breakout in the NHL hasn't really happened. He's just sort of. He's still young guy trying to figure the whole thing out, and Ryan Strome had 50 some odd points last year.
Best year in half a decade.
But I believe he was primarily next to Panarin. And so I wonder, let's be real, like Kakko wasn't even good.
Yeah. Kakko, he only had like 24, 25 points or something, I think. So 23 even. And look, there's some expectation that Kakko's numbers will go up next year, but
you definitely are expecting better than what he did this year.
There's also, we saw with Kakko and some of these other young guys quite a bit of aversion from New York to put them in the top 6. Can't imagine that'll happen with Lafreniere, given the talent that he is. But the Rangers are going to have to find room for the young guys to be a key part of their team.
Yeah. I mean, they've got an abundance of youth now. And, you have to admire the work that they've done in rebuilding on the
Turbo
fly.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't, obviously they've been ridiculously lucky here. In that they got Kakko and now Lafreniere in back-to-back years with just lotto luck. But, the year before that, they had 3 first-round picks.
Yep.
Like, they have aggressively torn down their roster, lacked the sentimentality that often trips teams up because they prefer the good story over good business. And this is... I mean, from a Colorado's perspective, this is totally fine. We'll see you in the Cup Finals in 3 years, fellas.
Right. We'll play Laugh twice a year and not worry about it, basically.
Yeah. This was a good outcome because Lafreniere ends up out east, and it's not Pittsburgh where he's just like
they build another super team. Yeah.
Where he gets just airdropped into a Hall of Fame caliber lineup.
Yep.
So this is fine. You do wonder though about a guy like a Buchnevich now. Do they
a little bit more expendable? Sure.
Yeah. He really good analytically.
I mean,
good solid numbers. He's a decent player. Does that guy turn into a trade piece?
Do you want to have that conversation? If the Avs want to move a center, whether it be Jost or Comfer, try to make room for a guy like a Bowers.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could look at doing that with someone like a Buchnevich. Obviously, depending on value and what else you'd have to add. Nothing set in stone there, certainly. But the Rangers... Is there any world where you think they take a Byfield with the first?
No.
Okay. Didn't think so.
I mean, I don't think so, man. I just don't know how
you pass up on a talent like Laugh, right?
Yeah, like Byfield, I don't even know that Byfield goes 2.
He might go 3 or even 4, depending on what teams want to do.
Yeah.
With Stutzla having risen quite a bit as of Bob's last list, but
I think they've got a lot of now you have a top 6 with Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, Buchnevich, and Strome. With guys like Kakko and Hedel and Gauthier and Howden. All of those guys kind of pushing Kravtsov if he
Morgan Barron down the line a little bit too.
Yeah, Morgan
about centers.
They just signed him, which sucks. Like they've got that young forward core now that they can build around. I'm curious where it goes from here because they don't have a ton of cap space, and they've got some big extensions that they need to hand out. I mean, certainly Ryan Strome, after the year that he had, he's going to want a nice raise. Tony DeAngelo's going to want a significant raise from $900,000.
That shouldn't be too much of an issue. They have enough cap space, really, I think, to work with. I guess it's only like $4.5 million, but they have Strome, DeAngelo, and then a couple of bit pieces like Lemieux, Faust, McKagan, Philip DiGiuseppe.
But those are just cheap. Whatever.
Throw them a couple $100,000 raise or whatever, and they're done. But
right, but now this gives them a large second contract to plan around.
It does. They know it's coming down the line, but
that ELC will start next season. and then a year from now, they'll be talking about extension.
I mean, the big thing about the 3-year ELC for Lav for them is that means they don't have to pay him until Hank's off the books.
Yeah, that's a big contract for them, but they're also going to have Zibanejad's next deal is also going to be up at the same time as that ELC, as Lav goes into the third year of his ELC.
And that's a super cheap contract that's going to get super expensive.
Right. Like he's on Zibanejad's making like $5 million right now.
Yep. 5.3.
5.3. Okay. 5.3. That, I mean, he keeps throwing up 40-goal seasons. That number's going to go up a little bit.
Just a touch. So
that's, they're in a great position right now to do so. I think that they would need an upgrade over Ryan Strome over on as a 2C if they wanted to make the big push. But I mean this is a free star caliber player on an ELC. This is the most valuable asset in the NHL.
Yep,
that they just got. So no need for them to trade it because they're not one of the teams that's sitting around like, oh, we don't need a wing. They need a wing. They still needed some offensive help. Sure. Now they have it. They're nasty now.
Certainly looks like our chat's happy about it. Fedster, I see you there. The Let's Go Rangers. AJ about to fight you.
Yeah, we're gonna. You're a Fed, so I can't.
But look, at the end of the day, from the Avs side of things, I really don't know if there was a better team he could have gone to.
Out east was ideal, and especially out east and not Pittsburgh, where they, you could easily see that being kind of a kickstart towards them getting back to Cup Finals. This is a guy that in Colorado's current Cup window, they probably still have a year or two before this could impact them at all.
Exactly.
So this is totally fine. This is a super non-offensive option. This would have Nashville and Minnesota, certainly this would have been a big problem. Edmonton, this would have been a big problem. Winnipeg wouldn't have been the same caliber of problem, but this is fine, man. I'm totally okay with this. I thought this was going to be doom or gloom, where we were preparing to talk about how the Central Division is just this
super
never ending.
Yeah,
and instead, it's out. It's whatever division the Rangers are in. I can never. Probably the Metro.
I assume it would be the Metro, but
yeah, I am as well.
East overrated, confirmed. West Coast, best coast, except for when it comes to getting Lafreniere. Anyway, I guess we're kind of just wrapping up. We just wanted to give our thoughts on the draft lottery that turned out quite great for the Colorado Avalanche. So
this is fine. Gonna be interesting though. You and I are doing a mock draft tomorrow.
Yep.
Even with all of the playoff chaos, Central teams bumped up. That Minnesota's at 9, Winnipeg at 10, and Nashville's at 11 now.
Yep.
So Laugh may not be coming to the Central, but plenty of bad dudes are.
Yeah. It's not like picks just disappear.
Yeah.
There's still a bunch of dudes at the top of this draft that are pretty good that we'll take another crack at seeing how it might shape up tomorrow. Today, in just about 30 minutes here, we'll be taking a look at round 1 of the playoff predictions with that man in the chat right there, Evan Rowell, as well. So hopefully we get a few more right than we did in the play-in round of chaos.
Hey, we were okay. We actually should have tallied up our records to see how we all did.
I did. I tweeted about it.
Oh.
You and I had 4 corrects in the play-in, and that led the pack. And then I led the the round robin with 2 correct team positions only. So,
wow.
it's a bit of a struggle in the round robin for us, certainly.
Yeah, we got the entire West wrong.
Yeah, not a single position right in the West.
Which is funny because both of those games went into overtime, and if you just reverse overtime, we all got all correct.
Yeah, it was that close.
It's like, well, whatever.
That close to being the money. But either way, podcast coming up in about half an hour here on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, wherever you're watching. So stay tuned for that. Until then, for AJ, I am Rudo, and we will talk to you then.